All right, looks like most people have joined us. So, welcome. We are pleased to have you spending some time with us this evening to speak a little bit more about our STEM for Rising 9th and 10th graders program. My name is Dan Murphy. I work with our marketing and enrollment team here, and I will kind of be leading you through this presentation before I hand it over to our guest speaker, who will talk a little bit more about the program this evening. A brief overview of what to expect tonight. We'll have a very brief overview of Brown Pre-College, how to apply, and then I'll introduce our guest speaker who will talk a little bit more about our STEM 910 courses. And as you'll see, we refer to STEM for rising 9th and 10th graders as STEM 910. So if you hear STEM 910, that's what we're referring to. And then we'll complete our time with you with a live Q&A. Tonight's session should take about 30 minutes or so, and it is going to be recorded and should be online within about 1 week. So if you miss anything from this evening, or you know someone who's interested in learning a little bit more about this, it'll be up on our homepage and our YouTube within the next week. And then there is closed captioning available for you this evening. If you click on the CC button at the bottom of your screen, you can turn on closed captioning as well. So some housekeeping things. We want to answer as many questions as we possibly can. So as we're going throughout the presentation, feel free to submit any question that you have using the Q&A chat function. We will answer again as many as we possibly can during the session and at the end. And then I always like to remind everyone that all the information we are going over this evening is available on our website at precollege.brown.edu. That's where you'll find the most up-to-date information, our frequently asked questions, and more. So let's start off with just a general overview of Brown Pre-College. So each year we welcome more than 6,000 high school students from over 70 countries, including across the United States, who choose to spend part of their summer with us here, whether that's here in Providence, at locations around the world, or online. These students explore over 300 courses that are intentionally crafted to emulate the undergraduate open curriculum here at Brown. And the structure of Brown's pre-college programs actually reflects the freedoms and responsibilities that are critically important parts of the college experience. So as a result, you'll balance the challenge of college level academics with the enriching social activities and educational workshops that are available whether you choose to study on campus or online. Regardless of which program you're interested in, the first step in your pre-college experience is completing our application. So our application is designed to mirror the Common Application, which is used by many colleges and universities. So when you complete the pre-college application process, you're actually helping prepare yourself for that college application process, including adding transcripts and thinking through and crafting an essay based on a unique writing prompt. Our summer 2024 application is now open, and the deadline for applying is Friday, May 10th. But we always like to remind people, if you're genuinely interested, it's always better to apply sooner rather than later. You can find your application checklist by clicking on the Apply button at the top of our website. This is where you can also find the essay prompt, grade requirements, and everything else that you'll need to provide us with a complete application. There's also a video tutorial on how to complete the application on that page. So if you want to get a little head start and kind of see what to expect, that's a great resource as well. So that's just a very brief general overview of our application process and timeline. So now for the main event, I'm going to introduce our guest panelist, Abbey Aevazelis, who is the Associate Director for Pre-College Programs and Director of STEM Programs, to talk a little bit more about our STEM for Rising 9th and 10th graders program. Hi, Abbey.
Hi, Dan. Thanks so much for having me. And hello to everybody who joined us this evening. I'm sure that we have students, family members, perhaps even guidance counselors or administrators on the call. And we're really happy that you're here. Thank you for taking the time. So my name is Abbey Aevazelis. As Dan shared, my pronouns are she, her, and I focus specifically on the STEM for Rising 9th and 10th graders program, in addition to STEM courses within summer at Brown and our research-focused and research-intensive courses that also fall under summer at Brown. So tonight, I'm excited for this opportunity to share a bit more with you about the STEM for Rising 9th and 10th graders program, affectionately called STEM 910, as Dan said, so you'll hear me say that. So STEM 910 is designed for our youngest audience, rising 9th and 10th graders that range in age between 13 and 15 years old. Students are bracketing the first year of high school. So typically the program is distributed between students who've just finished 8th grade and will start high school soon, and the rest have just finished their first year of high school. It's a really nice opportunity for students to learn what it's like to be in high school if they haven't yet started, and also to be able to share experiences they've just gone through if they have finished 9th grade. This past year, we had almost 70% rising 9th graders, which was a little bit more than typical. So if you are a rising 10th grader, I suggest that you explore our website, listen to the specifics tonight, and then really consider which program is a better fit for you, Summer at Brown or STEM 910. The reason I say that is because rising 10th graders who are 14 years and older are eligible for either program. Rising 9th graders, this is the program for you if you would like to be a part of Brown Pre-College this summer. So STEM 910, one other thing to share with you is there's about 250 students who are in this 2-week program, and each class is capped at 18 students. Now, the next thing is that this program is offered only as a residential experience on campus, and it does not include an online or commuter option. If you are 14 years and older, rising 10th grader, you have other options that you can consider within our programs, and I encourage you to explore our website. But otherwise, this is on campus and not online and no commuters. It provides a wonderful opportunity for students to learn from and share experiences with each other as they make friends and they bond over their shared love of the STEM subjects. And the great thing is, I'm going to get to meet many of you and your families on check-in day, Sunday, July 14th, during our parent and student orientation. Or I may have the chance to meet with you on July 26th during our closing event, where you will do your presentations of learning, and parents, you'll get to see the POLs by your talented students, the presentations of learning. Now, if you're thinking about which is the right program for me, the STEM 910 program has a few key differences from our Summer at Brown program. The big one is additional structure and support. So during the first day or so, the students are introduced to campus along with their residential advisors, RAs, and they learn how to navigate the space and get to and from their residence hall to the academic, dining, and recreational areas. RAs are undergraduate students who are supported through our layers of professional staff within our student life team, and RAs go through specific training to help to support our STEM 910 population. Students are also provided opportunities to get to know the students that live around them and their RA through community building activities that can occur daily along with a nightly floor meeting. Each RA works closely with a small cohort of students in their group, and during floor meetings, students learn strategies for being successful in the living and learning environment, continue to enhance and strengthen their newfound friendships, or choose activities that they might be interested in taking part on in the next 2 weeks. As students live on campus with us for the full 2 weeks, there's a lot of time for them to get to know others within the program. So what can a student expect on a typical day in STEM 910? Well, as far as the academics go, there will be 3 hours every morning, Monday through Friday, where students are participating in an academic course, and then 4 extended afternoon sessions over the 2 weeks that might happen on a Tuesday, Thursday rotation or a Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday rotation. Students will take only one class over the 2 weeks, and afternoon sessions may include field trips, extra lab experiences, or project work. Each course will have a specific prerequisite, and information, if there's any specific material such as laptops or field attire, will be either in the prereqs and then shared with you before your arrival. And your academic project, each student will work on an academic project, likely in partners or in small groups over the 2 weeks, and you'll showcase your learning on the final day. Students, you should expect to spend about 12 to 15 hours outside of class over the 2 weeks working on your project. So what happens when you're not in class, right? That's a lot of academics and you're taking rigorous academic experience. Well, when you're out of class, you will have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so 3 meals a day. You'll have free time in the afternoons where you can participate in STEM-related activities or join in with some of the Summer at Brown workshops or RA-led sessions. You can spend time in our study-like experience called Collaboration Station, where you're going to work on your project with your partners or other people in your class. Or you can enjoy quiet time relaxing with friends on one of the beautiful greens we have on campus. In the evenings and weekends, students participate in what we affectionately call fundatory activities, so fun and mandatory, where they're kept together as a cohort and are supervised by members of the student life team. For example, after dinner, students come together as a cohort and are escorted to a variety of activities hosted by the RAs. So you might go in a small group to an escape room, or you might go all together to go bowling. The opportunities vary each year, and students can experience many fun and different activities throughout the 2-week session. As I mentioned before, the program is supported by your RAs directly, but also by professional staff like us, and also wonderful area coordinators who help plan, coordinate, and supervise the RAs that interact directly with the students. And all of that support staff, the area coordinators and the RAs, live in the buildings with the students. So STEM 910 provides a breadth of courses. And while there are many wonderful courses, these are a few that I wanted to highlight for you tonight. So the first one, Understanding the Universe. Would be lovely, wouldn't it? So this course will survey the major themes of astrophysics and cosmology and explore both the established truths and the deep mysteries of our universe. The course is ideal for those who are curious about space and want to explore related topics. If you are interested in something else, a different course you could consider is Clothes, Class, and Chemistry, Fashion and Organic Chemistry. You may not think they go together, but they absolutely do. The global fashion industry is estimated to be a $2.5 trillion market. The amount of apparel produced annually is far more than we need and is actually a contributor to environmental waste disposal issues. In this course, you'll explore the history of textiles and colors through the lens of organic chemistry to understand how colored textiles are produced, and you may get to make your own. A different course again, Do You Even Lift Bro? Understanding and Implementing Exercise Science. So exercise has tremendous health benefits. In this course, you'll learn about how different body systems function and collaborate during movement. And you'll learn about the relationship between nutrition and exercise and how to build sustainable habits. So for any of you scholar athletes out there, this is a great way to learn more about how your body works and how to even perform better when you're doing your sports or your activities. You could also think about the real animal kingdom, a hands-on survey of invertebrate biodiversity. So while animals like lions, dolphins, and elephants get lots of attention, or sharks, that was my favorite always, most animals are typically far smaller and less obvious, but no less fascinating. In this course, you'll spend time exploring the amazing groups or phyla that lack backbones, commonly known as the invertebrates. How about product design for a healthier planet, an introduction to circular economic thinking? So have you ever wondered how to make a product better or been frustrated with how things don't seem to last? In this course, you'll explore sustainable design and engineering for manufactured consumer products. You'll design your own products and you'll think through ways to make products more environmentally sustainable. So as you can see, the courses range. There's a wide diversity of opportunities for you in terms of content. And I've chosen to highlight these courses as they have the most space remaining at this time. If you are interested in attending in summer 2024, I encourage you to apply as soon as possible or complete your application if you've already started the process, and then select a course that's available that resonates with you. It's really good to have flexibility in case your top choice is already full, and even more so for this year, as at this time, about half of the courses in STEM 910 are at or close to capacity. If you are a rising 10th grader, you've heard what I've just described, and you feel you might prefer a more flexible experience, then I encourage you to consider Summer at Brown, which provides you more freedom to explore on your own in and out of class. So in either case, as you're thinking about a course to choose, if your top choice is full, then you should consider the following. What will you be most excited about studying for 2 weeks? What are you passionate about? How do you feel the information you will learn will help you grow or even change the world? And have fun exploring. And remember, because these courses book up fast, you should always be open to trying something new. You might surprise yourself. So all in all, the STEM 910 program is a unique and wonderful opportunity for students. One of my favorite things about this program is walking around in the summer and seeing the happy faces and the excited voices. Students could be talking about what they're learning in class, having a debate about the current latest events, STEM related or not, or just hanging out talking about books, movies, or other things that are important to them. When students come to this program, they often may be one of just a few at their home school who care so deeply or passionately about science, technology, engineering, or math. And here they are suddenly immersed in this experience with around 250 other students who care as deeply and passionately about similar topics as well. It's affirming to find people you resonate with and at the same time realize that they may look different from you, come from different backgrounds, or live in another part of the world. Yet you quickly see there are so many opportunities for shared collaboration and learning from each other's. And this, to me, is what sets this program apart as something really special.
Great. Thank you so much, Abby. It was a very thorough overview, and kind of makes me want to attend STEM 910. But I'm well over that age limit. So we're going to transition now to our live Q&A. We've seen some questions coming in as Abby was presenting. We also received quite a few pre-submitted questions when you registered. So again, we're going to try to answer as many as we possibly can. If for whatever reason we don't get to your question this evening, you can always email us at precollege@brown.edu or give us a call, and we'll definitely help answer any questions. Um, so I'm going to take the first two questions because they're relatively related, and this is always the most common question in all the webinars. Basically, how much does the program cost? And, is there financial aid? Are there scholarships available? And these are great questions, and obviously very reasonable questions to be asking. And so our program costs are listed on our website at precollege.brown.edu. At the very top of the page, you can click on costs and aid, and that's where you can find all of this information. So from there, you can find the table for the program and you can see STEM 910, or you can look at Summer at Brown if you're a rising 10th grader, and the costs are there. You'll also find in that general section as well all of our scholarship opportunities. So we do have a few opportunities. Um, and I will say that for most of them, it is first come, first served for those scholarship opportunities. So we always encourage you to apply for those as soon as you apply for the pre-college program. So, Abby, this one's for you. So could you talk a little bit more about like what will students do on the weekend and what is the like level of supervision monitoring that happens on the weekends?
Absolutely. And so this is specific to STEM 910. As we talked about, there are these fundatory experiences. So the fundatory experiences are every evening. So in the evenings, right after dinner. So students, they have their afternoons free. They might be in lab for afternoon. They might be at collaboration station, or they might have just had some free time. They'll make their way to dinner. And then after dinner, they're going to gather up with their RAs. They're going to be in much smaller groups than the 250 often, and they're going to go participate in a rotating set of activities. They'll come back to campus in enough time to kind of check in, and then curfew is at 10 o'clock for these students. So that's the weeknights. And what's happening on the weekends is that we are working on the weekends to provide a holistic experience that really allows the students to do a little bit of everything they're going to want to do. One, they're probably going to want to rest a little bit, right? We're not going to want to wake them up super early. They can get a chance to sleep in, or if they want to participate at the gym, they can get up and they can do that as long as it's after 6 a.m. But in general, the students are going to have a very structured full day on one of the weekend days where maybe we're taking an all-day field trip, or they have some free time. Then we have some RA activities and they're taking an evening field trip, maybe to a sporting event. And then the other day will also include some supervised structured time, some free time on their own. They can always check in with their RAs, and then likely one of those fundatory events as well. And of course, I did reference they're supposed to be working on their projects for 12 to 15 hours. So when students have free time, that's the time we encourage them to be thinking about where their project stands and if it's a good time for them to connect with their groups and work on their projects.
Great, thank you. Um, I can take this next question. So you had mentioned that half the courses were mostly full. So if someone's asking, can we see which classes are still available or which courses are still available? So if you head to our course catalog on our website, so again, at the very top, you'll see catalog. You can click on that. And then on the left-hand side, you will see all the filters. So there's a filter for open courses only. And then you would also then want to filter down to STEM 910 courses. And you should be able, that will then bring up all of the available and or still open courses in STEM 910. And it's just good to always click on the open courses only, even if you're thinking of summer at Brown. So that way you can see the courses that are still available. Um, Abby, this one's for you. Can you talk a little bit about like who teaches these courses?
Sure. So courses can be taught by, they're most often taught by graduate students at Brown, students who are learning to be experts within their field. They're doing some cutting edge research. They're really passionate about the area that they are working on, and they're actually able to relay that research and information directly to the students. We also have folks who actually were at Brown in the past and can be faculty at other institutions who are coming back and teaching within our program as well. Broadly within Summer at Brown, there's also Brown faculty who teach, or folks who are affiliated and have lots of experience with education.
Great. Abby, this another one. Can parents visit their student when they're enrolled in STEM 910?
This is such a great question. And parents, this is what I tell you during the orientation when you check in. Please go away and stay away in the nicest terms. I don't actually put it quite like that, but it's super important for me to share that message. We find that students don't tend to get homesick until they see their families. When they see their families, that's really, really challenging for them. And so, because this is such a structured and supportive environment, you know that we have them for the full 2 weeks. And the ideal thing to do is to set a daily check in time with them, be that first thing in the morning or be it late at night. Please don't call them when you know that they're in class, right? But please set a time to check in with them daily. Recognize that we are keeping them really, really busy. We're keeping them entertained. We're keeping them safe. We're keeping them busy. And so they may not think to call you right away, which is why it's also important that you have a regular time set with them, that you know that you're going to call them at 9:45 every night, or you're going to text them at noontime when they should be at lunch. So there's a chance for you to do that. But typically, we really ask families not to come and visit their students while the program is in session, because it can actually contribute to students being a little more homesick than they would be otherwise.
Absolutely. My parents were very strict about that when I went to college. And I will confirm that it does make homesickness a little bit worse when you do see them for a little bit. Um, Abby, this one's also for you. Can you talk a little bit about what do the costs of the program cover, and what do they not cover so people can plan accordingly?
So the STEM 910 program is designed to be all inclusive. And what I mean by that is that if there's any textbooks or course packs or lab manuals that a student would need in the class, we are going to provide them for the student. So they shouldn't have to do that. Students get a printing allocation of $30 already on their ID card. So if there's any printing that needs to happen, that is something students can take care of on their own. And if there are field trips or evening experiences, we have snacks built into this program. I recognize that this program supports our youngest audience. So we have daily snacks that students are able to access, as well as snacks that can be taken on long buses. And if you're going to a sporting event like the Woo Sox, or some, so some other big all day event, we're going to cover the concessions at that as well. So all of the students will be given a ticket that will cover a certain amount of dollars on it based on what they're able to access, and they'll be able to purchase something while they're there. I'm sharing all this with you because I think it's important for you to know that the students do not need to bring spending money to be able to participate in any of the activities. We cover the cost of all of the activities. However, if students want to do laundry, they were going to have to bring some money to be able to buy a Bear Bucks card and do some laundry. Also, if they want to peruse Thayer Street, or they want to go to the local CVS, it's like our pharmacy drugstore, convenience store, or they want to buy themselves a boba tea, right? If there are things that they're going to want to do on their street, they are going to need a little bit of spending money for that. But in general, because there are those 3 meals a day, either if students are going to miss a meal on campus, we are having a grab and go meal that they can eat on the bus, and or we're covering concessions. So students will definitely get the 3 meals a day. The
Mhm.
activities are covered. Just that spending money is only for personal things that they might need or laundry.
Great. Thank you. Um, Common question, Abby, is STEM 910 a prerequisite to attend Summer at Brown? So if I am interested in a STEM course at Summer at Brown, maybe next summer, do I have to attend STEM 910 first to be eligible for that?
That is a great question, and the answer is no. So we do not set any of our programs up to be prerequisites for anything else. For example, attending a Brown pre-college program does not help a student if they are interested in eventually applying to Brown University. So really, I want you to think of these programs as independent experiences where you are able to think about and learn about what it's like to be on a selective college campus and really understand and navigate some of the nuances of not only the academic space, but also the social and emotional space. So, how do I deal with living with a roommate who I've never met before? How do I make good decisions about time management or maybe not eating French fries and ice cream every single day for food? How am I remembering to drink enough water or make sure that I'm prioritizing the academic work that I have to do? We, of course, welcome students back to the program if they are interested in applying, and they have many different opportunities. So, Summer at Brown, you could come back and take a Summer at Brown poetry class. You could take an Introduction to Medicine. Do you want to be a doctor course? You could come back and take a course on law and justice or drawing intensive. So, there's so many different options if you wanted to come back and consider Summer at Brown. There's also these amazing Brown Environmental Leadership Labs, so Bell courses. There are courses that happen around the world, so on location around the world. And we also have an amazing leadership intensive course. So we have the Leadership Institute for students who really care about social justice and making a difference in their community. So if you want to come back and you have done STEM 910, that's great. And we would really love for you to grow from the experience that you had when you were first with us and then dive into something new that you're super excited about. And it may be in the same area or maybe in any one of those programs that I referenced, but none of it is a prerequisite for anything that you might want to do in the future.
Great. Thank you. Um, if someone, Abby, if someone is interested in the program but unable to travel to Providence, can you remind us, is there an online option?
No online option for STEM 910, but if you're a rising 10th grader, you are able to take online courses within Summer at Brown Online.
Great. Um, One question we had pre-submitted is, do students in STEM 910, do they gain any lab experience? Is it dependent on the course that they're in? Anything that you can speak to on that?
Sure. So it's absolutely dependent on the course that you're in. For
Mhm.
example, if you're taking the organic chemistry, clothes, class, and fashion course, you're actually going to be working on organic dyes, and then you're going to be doing some lab experiments, right, in a chemistry lab setting. If you are working in one of the engineering or the design build classes, you're going to be working in likely a fabrication lab, and you're going to be doing some engineering design in that space. Some of our classes that are currently full at the moment, but like a DNA science and biotechnology, students would be learning a more traditional biotech wet lab with pipettes and and assays and some other things within a biology lab. So it really is specifically dependent on the course that students are signing up for. But yes, if you want all of our courses are designed to have hands-on components. 3 hours is a long time, and we want them to be engaging for you and engaging for your instructor. So they all include hands-on activities, but if you're looking for a specific lab class, then really pay attention to the program offerings that we have that are open. Same thing with Summer Brown. You can pay attention to what is written in the course description. They all include learning objectives, so you can understand what would be necessary for that class, and you can take a look at the prerequisites.
Great. Abby, we're getting a few more questions about, can you speak a little bit more about the level of monitoring of students in their downtime. So, for example, if you mentioned students needing maybe some spending money if they wanted to go to Thayer Street or CVS, if they wanted to go to CVS on their own time, is that something that they would be allowed to do by themselves? Is that something they would go with someone else with? Any insights on that?
Sure. So partially, number one, we give our students a lot of information about how to make smart and informed choices. A smart and informed choice is to never walk alone anywhere, right? Just because we want them to recognize that it's always important to tell someone where you're going, and to make sure that you bring a buddy. I do want folks to understand that we're an urban campus in the middle of a city. Thayer Street is a public street that actually intersects right through our campus. It is a public street. If students want to go participate in the athletic complex, if they want to go swimming or they want to go to the gym, they're actually going to be crossing Providence public streets before they get back into the Brown campus proper. So it's absolutely something that students can do is they can explore around campus in the afternoon. Again, we encourage them, to have a friend with them walking around. There are always emergency blue lights, which are very typical on college campuses. So if a student they felt like they needed support, they can reach a blue light and there is an immediate response. We have our own police force actually at Brown and our Department of Public Services. The DPS is there within 30 seconds. So, I mean, there's an immediate response if it's ever needed. But in general, we want students to know that in the afternoon, we're allowing them to have some freedom and flexibility so they are able to explore campus. Again, they can check out the summer Brown activities that are happening so they can participate with the older students. They can hang out in their dorm, they can rest, they can take a nap, they can work on their academic project, or they can go get that boba tea that I talked about. So there is some freedom and flexibility as long as they're not supposed to be in class and they're not supposed to be within the study hall. Often an RA will say, to a group, hey, I'm going to go down to the street and I'm going to go to Thayer Street. Is anyone interested in going? And so there are opportunities for them to go with staff. But in the afternoon times, they don't always need to be escorted by the staff. In the evenings and the fundatory events, they are absolutely escorted by the staff.
Great. Thank you. So I want to be mindful of time. So I think this will be our last question for the evening. And I know, Abby, that we don't know a lot about housing until closer to the summer, but could you just talk very generally about do all the STEM 910 students live together in the same residence hall? Do they live with other Summer at Brown students that are not STEM 910? Like any just very general information?
Absolutely. And so typically what we do is we reserve one or two buildings that are specifically just for STEM 910 students. So they are not housed with any students from any other programs. They're just housed with their RAs with the cohort of folks up to that approximately 250 number that we referenced earlier. They are typically assigned a roommate that is within a year of their age, and students are housed based on gender identity. There's no ability to select roommates. And that's part of going to a college campus and learning something new, right? And learning what it's like to live with someone who you don't know and you may be completely different from them. But that's what I talked about. The really special part is that you're going to find friends. You're going to find people that you resonate with on your floor, in social groups, or in those academic spaces really quickly.
Great. Thank you. So we just want to be mindful of time. So we know we didn't get to everyone's questions, but I'll provide our information so that way you can reach out to us if anyone has any additional questions. Um, so just to let you know, we have one more upcoming information session. So if there's anyone here this evening who is a rising 10th grader and is still trying to figure out, is Summer at Brown for me? Is STEM 910 right for me? We do have our final info session on February 29th, where we'll be talking a little bit more about Summer at Brown as well as the student life experience. And then finally, again, we had a lot of questions this evening. We tried to answer as many as we could. We also received a lot of those questions beforehand. And so if any questions that we did not answer this evening, any questions come to you as a result of this information session, Or if you have anything really specific, like I am thinking about these two courses and I don't know which one to choose, reach out to us. Send us an email at at precollege@brown.edu or call us during our office hours. I think we pride ourselves. We have 5 wonderful program advisors who always answer the phones and respond to emails. I say this every webinar, and I truly mean it. They are the encyclopedias of pre-college. They can help you and assist you with anything, with weirdly specific questions. If you're just like, I don't know, is this even right for me? Like, is pre-college right for me? They can help walk you through that. They can answer any questions about the application, like whatever questions you have, they can help assist you with. So definitely reach out to us. And then we always like to plug our social media. So if you haven't already, follow us on social media at Brown Pre-College. We like to showcase the student experience on there, and show as many videos and photos that students make. And there's actually a day in the life on there and on our YouTube page and TikTok of a STEM 910 student from last summer. So if you want to see what a day in the life looks like for a STEM 910 student, that is available on our social media. So a huge thank you to all of you for spending some time this evening with us to talk a little bit more about our STEM 910 program. Thank you to you, Abby, for being with us this evening to present about your program as well. Truly appreciate all the time you took to spend with us this evening, as well as everyone who attended. So again, any questions, reach out to us. More than happy to answer them. But otherwise, thank you and have a lovely evening.
Thanks, everybody. It was a pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Yes. Bye.